Hi everybody, it's Lavinia. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be painting this rose, which if you've seen on my community channel, if you wanted to paint along, this is going to be using the Faber-Castell Aquarelle Water Soluble Graphite pencils. So in another video, you can see where I used this picture and painted that, but this is a rose from my garden. So it is on my community page in case you wanted to download this sketch and follow along. So it'll probably be a series of videos. I'm hoping maybe this might be maybe 20 minutes or so. I'm not going to paint the whole thing in one sitting, but I have this number 6 Faber-Castell round brush that came with a set of pencils, and these range from the HB to the 8B. And I also have a smaller water brush that not sure, I think this came in one of my sets, I think in the Master's Touch watercolor kit, but you can use any round brush or any detail brush if you'd like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start, I think, with the lightest pencil, which is the HB pencil. And HB just means hard black. Regular graphite pencils, if there's an H, it just means that it's a harder lead, and then the B's go into a softer, darker lead. So starting with the HB will give me a lighter tone, a lighter value, and I can always go darker. With these pencils, if you haven't yet added water to it, you're able to erase it somewhat, but once there's water on there, it's very difficult to erase. So I'd rather start lighter and then go darker. So I'm going to start, section by section. So I think what I'm going to do maybe is start off with this petal, because this looks like this one and this one look like it would be the lightest. So I'll start off with that petal, which is right here. And this was sketched out with I think it was just an HB pencil, a regular graphite pencil. You can use your water soluble if you want to, but if you add water, those lines will dissolve. And just because I'm still new at this, I'd rather have the lines not erase, but they'll get blended in with these pencils here. I think as I become maybe more accustomed to it and get more practice, then I might be able to just sketch with these pencils. But for now, this is what I'm going to do and use. So again, this is the lightest area, so I'm just gonna go over it very lightly, not pressing hard at all. This is the first time I'm using hot press watercolor paper. It's the Master's Touch, which is the Hobby Lobby brand, only because that was really the easiest for me to find without having to actually, order online. So I don't know how this is going to react, because again, it's the first time, even with I've never used it with regular watercolor either. So here's this edge here, which is again part of the lightest. So I'm going to take my brush, which here it is. I just have some clean water here to the right. I'm just going to tap a little bit of the water off onto a towel that I have nearby, and then I'm just going to go over that. And it melts really nicely. I do have the sketch or the paper taped down so that it might help in case it were to start to warp. And this is actually my light box, which I have it taped down to, just because I like that it tilts. It has a little bit of a degree of tilt, so it allows me to see it better. There is no white that I'm leaving in this painting, so this HB will be the lightest value that I'll have. And I'm just going to do it section by section. So I'm going to start over here now. And with these pencils, you don't want to go over the area that is already wet because it can ruin the paper. It can, you're not going to be in control of putting it down. It'll, may have that chance to glob. So I'm just going to go section by section. And just start putting in these lighter values. So as you can see, it looks like it starts off darker, but then once you put the water on there, it gets lighter, and when it dries, it will be even lighter. So this is the petal that I'm working on right here. And because this is the lightest, even if I were to go into the darker areas, that's okay, because I'm going to then be using my darker B pencils for that. But I just want to put in these lighter areas first. And then at some point I will go into the darker areas as well. In fact, we can do that next, just so that you can take a look. I really like this medium, these pencils. There's a little bit more control than just watercolor. So that there. All right, so for example, I'm going to take my 8B pencil, which is the 8B is for black, and I'm going to use that in this section, which is this one right here. So this is one of the darkest areas that I have in this photo. So all right, so here's the 8B. I probably should sharpen that, but let's go ahead and put that in here. So this is a dark area too. And then this right here is this area here. And you know what? I am going to go ahead and sharpen this pencil. All right, so I sharpened it a little bit here, and I actually use this little tea light crystal. I bought a set of these. I think there were 6 of them at a garage sale years ago, and I was going to actually use them to plant some little plantings in here to give as gifts, but never did that. But I like them, so I figured, why not use them and surround yourself with something pretty while you're making art. All right, so back to this right here. And this is going to take quite a few layers to get to the darkest dark. So even though I'm using this right now, I am going to go back several times to make sure that it comes out the darkest value here in this painting, in this drawing. And again, I'm not pressing hard. This is smoother paper, so it goes down. And it's not like colored pencil where you have to keep your lines the same or your strokes the same. Again, because it will melt with water. So there's that area here, and then right here it comes across. Okay, so just to show you how dark that will be, again, I'm just dipping my brush and then just tapping it on my towel here. So you can definitely see the difference in the tone with this 8B pencil. And you can do it this way, paint, color in a section, paint it, but I just wanted to show you these different options. But what I'm going to do is now just continue just with the pencil, and then later on I will be using the water brush to to blend it in. So right now I'm just going to continue with coloring in the areas. So again, this is my 8B, and I'm going to color in this section, which is right here. Because I know that this is going to be one of the darkest areas. And then here as well, so this will be a darker area. This is going to be very dark against this lighter section. There's just a little bit of leaf that shows here, or petal I should say, that shows there. So it's darker here and then it gets lighter. And then here's another area where, right here, it's a little bit darker. And when I load up my brush with water, again, this will be dark, but then I can use some of the graphite that's on the water brush or on the brush itself and move that in there so that I don't necessarily have to put the HB there. That will do it for me. Okay, so that's that one. And then moving on to this area here, I might change to my 6B because it's not as dark as the 8B, but again, I can always come back. So just going to go ahead and use my 6B. Let me go ahead and sharpen that. And I'm always looking at my reference photo. And so this is coming up to where this petal here is. And then let's see, this is the lightest petal, and then it gets a little bit darker here, so I might come in with, let's see, I could still use my 6B here actually, right here in this area. This little triangle shape here is right here. So this again is the 6B. And that continues down here where this lighter petal is, where we use the HB. And I'm just going to bring that down lightly. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm just going to judge where the darker areas of the flower is on here, where they are, and then just color them in. So I'm going to go ahead and continue that. And then when I get to these different areas, I'll come back and show you that. But again, just continue on with the darker areas for now. And so here where the edge of this petal is, I'm just using, this is my 6B, and just coming across here. And I'm getting to this area here where you can actually see where I have that little outline. So I think I might go to my 2B for that one. Again, these Faber-Castell have a variety of different pencils. So I'm just going to use my 2B for that. And again, where there's an edge, if you wanted to do an outline for that, like come straight over and go over that outline, you most definitely can. Because again, it is going to blend out, and you do want those edges to be sharp. They'll probably sharpen the edges as I go along. Because again, this is going to be layer upon layer. It's not just going to be a one and done. All right, so I think I will stop here as far as for the video, but I'm going to continue with this. And in my next video, I will show you how I do these lighter areas here, where it's not maybe an HB or a darker B, but somewhere in between. All right, thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye.